Hey guys, this is Lamar Caphart with Stevens Lawn Care, and this channel is where we're documenting our journey to $1 million and beyond by giving you tactical, practical ways to scale your business. And today I want to go over the resources that I've used and implemented to shape how I operate and think. These are things that I've actually implemented, actually used, so not something that I think sounds good and is good in theory. If you're big into reading or listening, I suggest getting the Audible subscription. That's what I started with. So the first book, it was actually 2016 before I started my company. I started with Money Masters of the Game by Tony Robbins. It's more of a personal finance book, but where he researched a bunch of billionaires and put together what they did, teach you about finances and compounding. But that was the first book I got with Audible. And then from there, I just started stacking. Ones that's relevant to what we're doing here would be the E-Myth. I'm sure you guys have all heard of it. Some guys haven't heard of it, so that's why it comes up a lot. It just gets you thinking about, the process between a worker's mindset, a manager mindset, and a visionary mindset. So it's a really good book to look at. You got Profit First, which is more niche. Some people know about it. Definitely if you're in the business space, you want to look into that. It's about paying yourself first or making sure that you're going to get those profits. It makes you think beyond, simple pricing or just trying to get by, because if you don't have profits at the end of the day, you don't really have a real business. Another good one is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. It's funny, everyone laughs about it, but it's all about your psychology, not caring too much about what others think, making sure you believe in yourself and be able to move forward in a confident way. Those are 4 to just start with. I've listened to a lot more over the time. Some help, some don't, but with that Audible subscription, I think it's like 15, might go up, might be $20 a month now. But hey, you can take that credit, just get a book. If you do 1 credit a month, that'd be 12 books you listen to for the year, or you can buy the hardcovers as well. There's also a lot of good podcasts and YouTubes out there, such as Mike Andes. I found him a couple years ago. I wish I had found him earlier. My business would be far, far better by now. He focuses on landscape and he's built an empire with his franchise, but he actually did a whiteboard and would break down numbers. And at the time, I couldn't find anybody who was actually breaking down numbers. They'll show you like a mowing review, like use this mower or this steel edger or whatever. And it's like, okay, how do I make money though, right? So, I love looking at him. Alex Hormozi, of course, everyone's learning about him the last few years. I think 3 or 4 years ago, I might've heard about him, got his first book that he had written at the time, or I listened to the audiobook. But a lot of tactical advice from those 2 guys. And then Tommy Mello, if you guys haven't heard of him, he has over a $200 million garage company. He has a podcast. He has books as well. These guys have YouTube channels and podcasts. You can get on like Spotify or Apple, and you can listen to those and learn a lot from those guys as well. And lastly, I would talk about getting into a coaching group, something that's either in your niche or a general coaching group. For us as home services. So I joined Mike and Andy's group on Facebook. I'm also in a Central Florida Facebook group, which has a lot of local companies in there where they talk about, different strategies or how much should you charge to cut this bush down, whatever. But it's a coaching group. But I have a paid coaching group that's in school, which I have information down below. But that was led by Will Kelly and Sam Gustin, who both have over $1 million companies, and they show you tactical ways to scale. And I've been in one of the groups for over a year, and it's been fantastic. I've been able to implement a lot of things along the way. Helped me streamline my sales. It helped me convert more people. It helped me adjust my website, language, how I work with customers, how I hire, how I fire. It's a lot of stuff in there. So I've gotten a lot of value out of that coaching group. So I definitely recommend it for anybody in the home service space for sure. Also, being part of those communities, you learn about different events or conferences. I went to a conference earlier this year in Seattle, Washington, where I got to meet Mike Andes, and I think it was over 300 other businesses there. Was able to get some real advice. I found out some guys, you might think, oh my God, you get $100 a month for service. I found out some guys get $500 a month, which I don't know how they're doing it, where they're doing lawn care. So of course, sitting down, being able to talk to those guys and figure out how are they, laying out that proposition or that value that the customers see, and how are they able to scale. So there's always a how-to, and not so much like you could never do that. So I love these groups because they teach you a whole lot. But here's the most important thing. So all this stuff would not mean anything if you don't implement. So you can listen to all the books, you can watch all the videos, you can join all the coaching groups, but if you don't implement or execute, it won't mean anything. For us in particular, I actually implement what I learned. So for example, learning how to have a different offer. If you go to my website, you'll see that we have this ultimate package now. So learning how to build an ultimate package or a value proposition to get people to come in, or building automations on the back end. So when I get an estimate, it emails me and emails the customer. It goes automatically into my CRM, making sure I have a CRM, making sure that when making sure in that CRM that I've optimized the systems. So my crews have a way they check stuff in the morning or a checklist after a job to reduce those damages and complaints. You know, these are things that I've picked up and learned, just little nuggets here and there. For example, raising prices are like your biggest lever. I was scared to raise prices, but that's one of our biggest reasons that we're here. You know, 4 years ago, I think our average ticket was like $100 a month. Today it's like $155. So what I've been doing is just raising rates every year, year after year, until we can get to a good point where we got good profits. We can pay guys really good to work. That was another thing, implementing pay for performance. That's a big thing that Mike and Andy's pushes. So just know you have to really study and listen, but then implement for your business. Obviously, I'll go over more details, each one of these things. But when it comes to marketing and SEO and sales and hiring and firing and all those things, it's like, okay, all this information is out there. And you're like, cool, I just studied this. I feel so much smarter. I'm finna kill it. But then you don't implement it. That's why, again, if you're here, we want to learn a tactical way. So you want to actually implement it. Obviously, I'll be able to drop some examples. That's all I have for today. I want you guys to take at least one thing from this video and implement it and actually use it. Whether that's getting on Audible and getting some book or a business book or a personal finance or a motivational book, whatever you need, or whether it's subscribing to one of these podcasts or one of these YouTube channels, something, take an actionable step after this video.